How's it going all? Was on vacation for a week and skipped a few uploads. Sorry about that. But we're back in business with some regular content. And I'm thinking about starting a series each week highlighting the best Treasury Bills, CDs, and savings account so you can find the best option for your cash investments. And special thanks to Ed for this content idea. As always, if you have anything that you want my unqualified opinion on, feel free to drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. So without further ado, let's talk about the best fixed income assets to take advantage of this week. Starting off, if you're looking for a solid high yield savings account, Discover Bank is a very popular one with great customer service and very solid interest rates. They're offering 4.15% APY with no minimum balances or monthly fees. And this earns you significantly more money than your average checking account, making this the perfect option for an emergency fund or any cash that you might need for the next few months. And I believe that Discover still has all US-based customer service, which is quite valuable for a lot of people. Another potentially better option is Marcus by Goldman Sachs. They also offer 4.15% APY with no minimum balances or monthly fees. However, if you use a referral link, you can earn an additional 1% APY for the next 3 months. And this effectively boosts your interest rate to 5.15% APY. As always, you're welcome to use my referral link, which does help out the channel. But if you do have family members who already use Marcus, feel free to use theirs as well because they also get that elevated savings rate. Now, if you want to take on a bit more risk with less liquidity, money market funds are a good option to earn elevated yields. And one of the best options is Vanguard's Treasury Money Market Fund called VUSXX. Their 7-day yield is 5.06% APY with an expense ratio of just 9 basis points. And this gives us a compound yield of 5.18%, which is really, really good. Now, you do need at least $3,000 to purchase this fund, but the yield is absolutely worth it. Plus, about 50% of this fund is invested directly in US Treasuries, allowing you to get some of the tax savings of T-bills. And while money market funds tend to be extremely stable, just remember that these are not FDIC insured products. So while they are considered low risk investments, if you are more conservative about your finances, Discover and Marcus by Goldman Sachs are perfectly fine options with big banks, even with a lower yield. And if you want to lock up your money for 1 to 3 months to earn better interest rates, brokered CDs and treasuries tend to be a really good option. And Merrill Edge is simply the best broker because of their massive flexibility with maturity dates. Now, don't get me wrong, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Vanguard are perfectly good brokers, but they don't offer any T-bills or CDs that mature in 2 months or less. So whether you like it or not, Merrill Edge is kind of like the go-to option when it comes to short-term cash investments. And they're still pretty darn good. For example, there's a 1-month CD from Seacoast National Bank offering 5.25% APY. There's also a 2-month option with the same yield, and both have a minimum deposit of just $1,000. But if you are a high income earner, Treasury bills could be a better option. And some T-bills on Merrill Edge can mature in just a few weeks while offering over 5% annualized yields. So for example, I made a purchase this morning for $5,000 on a T-bill maturing next month with 5.085% APY. It takes about 3 minutes to make this purchase, but it's an extra few dollars each month of interest compared to a regular savings account. Now, if you plan to hold your money for 3 to 6 months, Schwab is currently offering the best fixed income assets. There is a 6-month T-bill offering 5.416% APY with a minimum deposit of just $1,000. There are pretty decent options on Fidelity, but those require 5 or 6-figure investments to get those advertised rates. So for most people, I'd recommend Charles Schwab since they offer a better selection of treasuries to choose from. And when it comes to 9-month savings, brokered CDs on Charles Schwab is a really good option. There's a 5.35% CD from Wells Fargo maturing April of 2024. Now, there is a 5.4% one from JP Morgan Chase, but it is a callable CD, and I personally don't think the additional call risk is compensated by that extra 0.05% APY boost. It's too little for me to consider it, but you're absolutely welcome to. For 12-month savings, I'd pick Wells Fargo on Fidelity offering 5.3% APY. Now, if you have less than $1,000, US Bank offers 5.2% as a fractional CD opportunity. And this makes it perfect if you only have a few $100s to spare. Now, if you want to take on some additional risk, there is a 5.55% yielding CD from JP Morgan Chase on Charles Schwab. And this coupon frequency is now semi-annual, giving you earlier access to interest rate payments. And this is now a 20 basis point boost, so that extra yield could be worth the additional call risk. And for longer term savers, there are plenty of 2-year CD options on Fidelity and Charles Schwab. And with interest rates potentially falling in 2024, I'd personally choose non-callable CDs. And one of the best options for non-callable CDs is 5% APY from Wells Fargo on Fidelity maturing in July 2025. There is a fractional CD option as well by First Foundation Bank at 4.9%, but to be honest, if you only have a couple $100s, I'd probably just save up to buy a full CD or T-bill instead. Of course, for short-term cash investments, you can choose individual newly issued T-bills as well, and some are potentially yielding more than the ones that I've discussed here in this video. So for example, the last 13-week T-bill was yielding 5.33% APY, and those are all genuinely good options. However, their future rates are also impossible to predict. They have this auction process, and we can only estimate what their future yields will be. On Fidelity, their models predict that the next 2-month newly issued T-bill will only offer 5.16% APY. So if that is true, I'd rather pick a fixed income asset on a broker instead that yields something like 5.2 to 5.4% APY. But as always, I love to hear about your picks and whether you like this type of content every single week. Have a great rest of your day and take care. Have a good one.